it seems that nowadays everybody is very busy. We are drowning in our lives. We have so many responsibilities, so many things to do. We have no happiness. We don't enjoy it. Is there anything that can be done about it?
Well, this comes about because of our distraction with our work and with our life, that we're simply blindly following our negative habit patterns. And during this Qigong seminar that I am going to be doing this September, I'll be giving people concrete methods to actually get to the root of this problem and take control of their lives once again and bring themselves some happiness and peace. And very few people can actually say they have contentment in their lives.
That would be true. I don't know many people who would say that they're not just content, that they're happy in their lives.
This is because we have no control, because most people have, well, almost all people have no control over their minds. The mind controls them. That's their conditioning controls them.
And is there anything that we can do about it?
Yes, through the methods taught in our system, we teach you how to control your mind, how to discover your habit patterns.
When you say negative habit patterns, it's like if I was smoking, for example, or if I was hanging around with people and I didn't enjoy the company. There was something I was doing automatically.
Well, of course, this is negative, but it's not the actual pattern itself which is the problem. It's the blind following of it. One minute we have the contact, and immediately we're off. Someone says something happens, and immediately our conditioning locks in, and we like, and we don't like. You know, this is a friend, this is an enemy.
We're sort of fold blinded. We have these chains that enslave us, these habit patterns, as you spoke about.
Yes.
And
we take these habit patterns to be our real selves.
I don't want to live this automatic life. I don't want to run on this autopilot and repeat the same mistakes all the time again.
This is what we call in our system being the human robot. This is being under the control of our conditioning, under the control of our mind, without having any control over our mind. During the practice of this Qigong system, we slowly take control of our mind and transform from being a human robot to being a human being.
Somebody never tried to be a human being. What's the difference between a human robot and human being?
It's like the difference between a healthy person and an unhealthy person. A person, when they're healthy, are relaxed, calm, warm, and open. Person, when they're unhealthy, they're the exact opposite. They're very closed, they're cold, they're hard, they're unhappy.
And when I discover that I have this attitude of a human robot that you described, is there any way how I can free myself?
Well, first of all, of course, as you mentioned, first you need to discover. It's a bit the moment we're like a child who's getting a beating all the time and not knowing why we get the beating.
Mm-hmm.
So the first relief is knowing why we are getting the beating. Automatically, from that moment, knowing why, we have some hope. We have some hope of avoiding a beating. Then the next thing is how to avoid the beating. And that through the methods that we teach in the system, you discover how the beating is coming about. And then you can control that situation and you can overcome.
Mm-hmm. And this is what the September seminar will be about.
Yes, to free ourselves from the endless slavery of our habit patterns.
Negative habit patterns that one might have. Do they manifest only at the level of mind, or do they manifest at the level of body and energy as well?
Well, the negative habit patterns manifest at the level of the energy by blocking the energy in the body, and that leads to imbalance, which then is the precursor to disease, dis-ease.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, as in disease of our bodies, our emotions, our mind, etc.
Could it be said that I become ill also because I have these habitual patterns that I repeat all the time?
Well, according to Chinese medicine and Tibetan medicine, the source of all the 84,000 diseases is our mind.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah? And it's not just the mind, it's our negative emotions. So yes, we can say everything begins at the level of mind and then manifests in our energy and in our body.
And can you tell more about the techniques that you will be teaching?
Within our system, we work with our body, our energy, and our mind. This is our dimension. So first of all, we need to develop some awareness. As I said earlier, that we need to become aware of these habit patterns. So first of all, we develop our awareness at the level of the body, for instance, through movements. And then we have to develop our awareness at the level of the energy, through our static postures, and working with the flow of energy, having understood also through the movement of our tensions. And then we have to work with the mind, because the mind is king, because mind causes all the problems within our body and our energy.
If I come to September seminar and I have never been to Qigong, does it mean that I will be free from the negative habitual patterns?
We've taken all our lives, and some say even more than this life, developing these habits, yeah? And so it'll take a little time to unlearn them, yeah?
And is it then worth for me coming to the seminar?
Everyone has to begin somewhere. And at the seminar you can begin well, working with the body, the energy, the mind, with support from myself and my instructors.
And I will be better off after the seminar?
Absolutely. For some people, actually get quite a big change after the first seminar, some a small change. It varies with the individual, but always there's some change.
Mm-hmm.
Always we learn something, we discover something.
The course takes the whole weekend, starts on Friday, finishes
Yes.
Sunday afternoon. I think it's just very long.
During this course, the main emphasis will be on relaxing. And all of us have had hard working weeks and maybe working months. And we need some space in which to relax. So we go into the country. We relax amongst like-minded people. And most important is that when we come to these seminars, that people don't be too serious, that they have maybe a little bit of a sense of humor.
So it's not too heavy?
Of course not. It's a place where you can relax, enjoy, rest, and learn about yourself.
It seems to me that already I have so many things in my life happening, and I fear that I will not be able to add another thing, Qigong, in my life.
Well, during this weekend seminar, not only will we teach you the formal practices of Qigong, but we'll also explain how you can integrate this practice into your everyday life, into your walking, into your sitting, into your driving, into your eating, into your sleeping.
So then it will not actually be another thing added in my life.
It will be another thing added in your life. What it will bring will be a bit more calm, a little more focus, a little more openness, and perhaps not just a little wisdom.
Okay. You say that the September course will be about dealing with habit patterns, but it seems to me that my habit patterns are just fine. You know, I have my routine, I do things every day the same way, and it helps me to get through.
So what happens when your routines are disrupted, either by, like for instance, losing your job, someone dying, you becoming seriously ill?
I suffer.
That's right, and so do we all. So it's important that we then look how to free ourselves from that, you know? Be able to work from the root. We're not just trying to eliminate the symptoms, but we want to deal with the actual cause. And this course is about dealing with the cause, cutting the root of the trees, rather than just chopping off a few branches.
Perfect.